Okay guys, going to tell you another shrimp fly pattern. Now this is just going to be a slight variation on a fly called the fin gold. Um, the fin gold is it's a pattern that was tied by Paddy Bunner. It's a good fly to have, fish river fin or any of the rivers that are peat stained water in them. So the hook and the vise is a size 12 partridge pit rate double. The thread that I'm going to use to tie the fly is uni thread 801 red. So I'm simply just going to come in and get the thread started behind the eye of the hook, run on a few turns and remove the waste tag of thread. Now the tag and the rib on both the rear and front body is going to be the ultra wire in hot yellow from UTC. So I'm just going to come in and take a length of this off. Spray it off the spool, don't cut it away unless you've got a pair of designated scissors. Now I'm just going to tie this in underneath the hook shank and then bring the wire underneath the hook shank, then continue tying it in down the hook. I'm going to bring my thread down once I let it go, it's past the point of the hook, and then I'm going to come around with 4 turns of the hot yellow wire to create the tag, and on the 5th turn I'm going to bring it up, and in between the 2 hooks come around with a turn to hold, then a couple of turns to secure. Now I'm just going to bend and break away the wire. The tail is going to be a dyed red golden pheasant rump feather that I'm going to use for this wee fly. The original pattern was just a golden pheasant red breast feather, just a natural, so I'll just give it an extra wee bit of colour. So I'm just going to stroke back the fibres to reveal the tip. Offer this up to the hook, turn to hold, another turn to secure. I'm going to fold back the tip, take my thread, turns back up over the tip and the hackle. Now I'm just going to come in, trim away the tip. Then you're just looking one turn in front of the other. Now, I don't get too hung up with these twists when I'm winding around the feather, because I can just come in and brush these out. Just sort of way concentrate on tying in the winding around the hackle as tight as I can. I'm going to bring my thread back into position. Come around with my thread turn, catch in the stem. I'm going to keep the thread turn underneath, so the body's going to be a gold tinsel up to there, keeping my thread tight and break away the stem. Then I'm just going to come in with an old toothbrush and just brush out the fibres that I've caught when I've been just winding around the hackle. Now on the way back down I'm going to tie in my rib, and I'm going to use the same hot yellow wire that I used for the tag. A bit of fluff, so just catch that in underneath again, bring it underneath and bring my thread down, tie it up against the tail. The body is going to be a gold tinsel. This is just the gold and silver uni. So I'm just going to take a length of this off, trim away. Now I want the gold side, so I'm going to tie it up with the silver side facing up. Tie it up, and then just come around with your gold tinsel. You want a nice tight turn onto the tail, just at the back of the fly. Then one turn slightly overlapping the other up to there. Follow it across with your thread, one turn to hold, a couple of turns to secure. Then you can come in and trim away the excess. Then we can bring up our wire. You're looking 3 turns onto the body to protect it. Up to there, follow it around with your thread, one turn to hold, a couple of turns to secure, and then keeping your thread tight, come in, bend and break away your wire. Now the mid haggle, it's just an orange Chinese cock haggle. So just take off the haggle from the cape, stroke back the fibres to reveal the tip. After the tip up the hook, one turn to hold, another turn to secure, fold back the tip, and bring your thread back up over the tip and the haggle. Then come in, locate your tip, bend and break it away. Now, I just like to come in with my scissors and just stroke back the fibres on the stem. Then you're just looking one turn in front of the other. Turns are up to yourself. It's how you like to dress your salmon flies. I usually like to get 3 in if I can. So that's going to do me there. Just going to follow it around with my thread. One turn to hold, a couple of turns to secure, come in, trim away the excess. Now I'm just going to bring my thread forward, second part of the body. And on the way back down, I'm going to tie in another length of my hot yellow wire. Just catch it in underneath, bring it underneath the hook, then just bring my thread down. Now, I want to bring my thread down tight up against the mid haggle. There. Come in with my gold tinsel again. Want the gold side, so just remember, if you're using a dual tinsel, want the gold side tap with the silver side up. You want the silver side tap with the gold side up. Just run this up to there, and we'll just come around with our gold tinsel. Right, want to get your turn nice and tight onto the center haggle, then just one turn slightly overlapping the other. Up to there, follow it around with your thread, one turn to hold, a couple of turns to secure, and then come in and trim away the excess. Bring up your rib, 3 turns onto the body, same as the rear body. Follow it around with your thread, one turn to hold, a couple of turns to secure. Now keep your thread tight, and bend and break away the wire. You've got designated scissors, cut the wire. I don't, just ruins your scissors. So just going to bring my thread up to the eye and back down into position. Now the front haggle on the original pattern's a rich yellow. I'm going to use a excuse me, a fluorescent yellow Chinese cock haggle. I'm going to stroke back the fibres to reveal the tip. After the tip up the hook, remember to turn to hold, another turn to secure, fold back the tip. Bring your thread back up over the tip and the haggle. Come in, locate your tip, you can break it away. Just come in with your scissors, just run it up the stem, and I'll fold back your haggles for you. And then you're just looking one turn in front of the other. Now, I'm tying this on a size 12, so just need to be mindful that we haven't much room at the head, so that's 2 turns now. Let me see. Okay, it's going to be enough for me there. Now, just going to come around with my thread, catch it in, one turn to hold, couple of turns to secure. Then I'm going to come in and trim away the stem. You like to fold it back. You don't want to be creating too much bulk at the head. Now, anything that's going forward, just come in and stroke it back, and then just come in with your thread just to tie it in. We're not looking too bad. Now I'm going to put on 2 jungle cock eyes under the wee fly, 2 here on the desk. So you're just going to see the undersides. Now don't take the fluff off, just stroke it back to get a tan-in point, and then I'll offer them up to the hook. Just hold them on the hook, then I'll come around with a couple of loose turns. I just want to come in and see what way I'm sitting at this stage, just to make sure that they're the same length. Right, I'm happy enough with that. So I'm going to take my thread turns down, holding on the jungle cock nice and tight. I'm going to fold back the stems and then just tie up over the top of the stems nice and tight. You get into this habit, I think I've said this before in a couple of videos, of folding back the stems of the jungle cock. It means that they have to break off. The jungle cock can't pull out. Now just keep my thread tight. I'm going to come in and break away the stems. Still keeping the thread tight. Come in with your whip finishing tool and just throw in a whip finish. Nice and tight. Come in, trim away the thread. Now we're just going to come in and put on some super glue to seal the head up. Just a wee bit too much there, so on the head, don't want this anywhere else. We'll just ruin the fly right the whole way right round, and then once that's dried, I'll come in and put on a couple of coats of varnish to seal everything up. So there you go, folks. That's just a variant of the fin gold. Not that you need to tie that fly in a variant, but it's just something a wee bit different. Brighter tail, using the dyed red golden pheasant brace feather, and then just using the fluorescent yellow. And sometimes it's good to have the patterns tied in size 12s and 14s, just when the fish become a wee bit more wary after they've been in the system a while. So look, listen, anyway, tie a few up and hopefully they catch you a few fish.